So this is the vegetable garden. I'll go in there in a little bit. But this is the compost bins. John built these. And as you can see, I have a bit of a tree problem and overplanting things and not having enough space for them. So this is raspberries I dug up right here, and I'll be pulling this out, and then all the dry materials I get from all these beds will go in here, and then as the lawns start getting mowed, I'll use this to layer into these beds so we get some quick turnover on the compost. But I got a couple of things of color from the garden center yesterday, so I'm gonna just pop those out first thing this morning, just make things start looking a little brighter. Here's some cabbage and cauliflower that I grew the winter sowing method. And also right here we got broccoli, so I'm going to get this broccoli in the ground today, and probably the other brassicas. But I want to show the garden because that's where I'm going to be working. And here's some more trees and other shrubs that I basically just bury them in the soil every year, so I don't have to keep them in the garage and they stay well. Here's a bunch of other winter sowing jugs that I got going. By you? Yeah. Okay, cool. There's more chives coming up, maybe some onions that I must have missed. This is bee balm. There's a bunch of other little trees and shrubs. Now, this is something cool. So this is not what every gardener wants, but this is stinging nettle. And I planted one little plant that I got from the wilderness not too many years ago, 3, maybe 4, and I just popped it in here. And this is primed to start eating these. Here's an update on what I've been working on. So I got just some pansies and violas planted just to give a little bit of color. And then basically cleaned out this garden bed and that little rock garden bed I made last year. And I think what I've decided to do, so I was going to do herbs in this bed, but like I said, I have this issue with all these plants in pots that really would much prefer to be in the ground, and it would save me a ton of watering. So I think what I'm going to do is plant these shrubs like this, and then I can pop some herbs around them and some flowers, and they'll be happier here. There'll be less watering to do, and I can dig them up in the future if I ever get my own little homestead and bring them over that way. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And now here's a closer look at the stinging nettle with all the last year's stalks and flowers cut off. So you can see this is prime for cutting. These are awesome. And then I don't know if you can see this guy. I have some verbascum here that I grew last year from seed, and then I have some more right there. And this is all bee balm that is spread this whole entire area here. So I am going to dig all that up, change this bed up, and like I said, I think I'm going to put like flowers on both edges. And this is a grapevine that I grew last year, and so I just trained that one branch there along the fence. And this isn't a great area for it again, but I had great hopes of being in our own house and was gonna do that there. But oh well, we'll let it do what it's gonna do for now, and we'll adjust and dig up if as needed. And here's some chives. So I think I'm going to move these chives over with the different berry bushes. And so I have a number of different, I got a Blanca gooseberry, a maxi honeyberry, what is this? A solo honeyberry, and then a black velvet gooseberry. And this guy's the biggest guy, so very thorny. We'll see how it goes. I've never grown these, and I've actually never had their fruit either, so looking forward to that. So I will get to it, and then I'll bring you guys back for what I've done. Okay, next day, just want to show a little bit of what I accomplished. I moved some of the chives. And then this bed is rocking. So I moved the flowers. I moved the verbascum that I planted last year. I moved some red bee balm or monarda. Planted some lettuces. There's a ruby red and then the romaine. And then I planted some cauliflower and Jersey cabbage here. Here are some leftovers in case anybody doesn't make it. I planted beets along this edge here. And again, I did the verbascum, and then under here is the bee balm. And I planted some candy onions, and this is all broccoli. And then I wound up planting the 4 different berries that I talked, the gooseberries and the honeyberries, and I dug up some of the strawberries and put them in here. So we'll have a nice berry bed. And oh, there's my chickadee friends. I'm gonna set this up here so we can get some pictures of these guys doing what they do. That'll work. All right. So today I'm going to harvest some stinging nettles for tea today. But this wonderful plant can be dried, it can be steamed, it can be cooked in any way, used as like a spinach or any other type of green you would eat. It's extremely high in protein, maybe one of the highest protein green plants we have. It's native to North America, can be found in wet areas, wet sunny areas. And I cut this one stem already, but you can see it's got almost a square shaped stem, and it's got these deep grooves down each of the sides of the square. The underside of the leaves are deeply veined, and it gives it sort of a coarse texture if you don't get it while it's young, sort of stringy. But it's great. You can dry this in mass, and that also kills the stingers, and use it in soups in the winter, use the dried leaves for teas. Just a really excellent plant. So you don't have to wear gloves. I don't find the sting all that bad, but really what you want to do is harvest the youngest tips. And I don't need all that many, but I also like to add, you can add these to juices, and since I'm starting to juice this time of year, I'll gather up some of those larger stems as well. But just grab another couple small tips. Okay, so back in the house, you all see this? Here's the nettles. I'm gonna put it in a clear glass or mason jar. So just doing that, pouring hot water now renders the stingers stingerless. So now we'll just let this sit and be back in a minute. But let's strain this and then enjoy. Yum. Good morning. It's like April 12th and woke up to wonderful snow. Beautiful.